Take a look at this photo. This 14-year-old kid looks more likely to sell you Magic the Gathering cards than posterize grown men. By the way, young Brow was barely 6 feet tall in this photo. To add insult to injury, this kid was forced to play with a deplorable high school team, a team that didn't even have a gym. If you had to guess, you'd say that this team would be completely irrelevant in basketball history. But suddenly, that goggled kid named Anthony Davis would evolve.
And Big Game James are the other two. And Danny Green from North Carolina. Lob to AD with one hand.
Now, that same Perspectives high school team will be remembered for producing one of the NBA's best big men of the modern era. Davis's journey wasn't smooth. He faced challenges most prospects never worried about. For example, it seems like all NBA athletes get their growth spurts before high school. I mean, even unathletic humans grow that early, usually. We've all heard the story before. Your 6'2" friend who played forward for your high school team claims if he just grew one more foot, he would have been a lottery pick. But Davis was different. Very different. I'm Frank Smith, and this is the story of how Anthony Davis transformed from a 5'11" high schooler to an NBA superstar, a ClutchPoints original mini-documentary. For what it's worth, that same friend is now a manager at the last remaining GameStop, and he offers you $13.50 for your lightly used Xbox One. Back to the Brow. Growth spurts can only change so much. Except for Anthony Davis, it changed everything. Davis was barely 6 feet tall when he was 14. He was known as a smaller kid in the team who would skulk in the corners of the court, putting up short distance threes when he found himself open. Steve Kersh, I guess. That would all change when Davis started shooting up like a skyscraper. By 15, he was 6'2". By 17, 6'7". And by 19, he reached his adult height of 6'10". It took just 5 years for Davis to go from a scrawny guard to a devastatingly long forward. Most importantly, he managed to dodge the knee pain that usually plagues players who grow like this. And what makes this even weirder is the fact that the Brow's parents are not exactly behemoths. Anthony Davis Sr. is not short, he measures in at 6'3". His mother, Rainer Davis, is where AD got his height. She's 5'11". Their son would dwarf them both. Developing as a guard pre-growth spurt was the key active ingredient in Davis's unicorn formula. If he were a legit big man growing up, his coach would have likely forced him to work exclusively in the paint, unable to craft his handle or jumper. Funny how life works. Height wouldn't be the only obstacle Davis had to overcome, though. He attended Perspectives Charter High School, a school not exactly known for their athletic achievements. Illinois is a hotbed of high school basketball talent. The state has produced stars like Kevin Garnett, Dwayne Wade, and Isaiah Thomas. Davis stuck it out in Perspectives, betting on himself being good enough that the scouts would find him regardless of his school. And it wasn't like Perspectives was just okay at basketball. They were bad.
Oh!
They had no gym, and they practiced at a nearby church. Perspectives finished 8-15 at the end of Davis's junior year, but his bet paid off. Davis was ranked as the #1 prospect in the country by Scouts.com and made the list of ESPN's top 100. By the end of his senior year, his team was even worse. They finished at 6-19, even with Davis averaging 32 points, 22 rebounds, and 7 blocks. The Davis hype train was in full effect. He was recruited by Coach Cal and signed on to play at the University of Kentucky, where he would dominate and break the streak of draft flops for the Blue Blood school. From 2010 to 2014, Davis is the only player from Kentucky drafted in the lottery who truly lived up to expectations. Patrick Patterson, Brandon Knight, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Nerlens Noel, and Julius Randle can't say the same. You can throw John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins in there if you want. Obviously, you can make a case that they did become excellent players. However, like the rest of their peers in that group, neither of them has lived up to the hype that comes with the #1 and #5 picks, respectively. When Davis was drafted first overall in 2012, he was the first Wildcat to truly evolve into a generational talent. Widely considered to be one of the best players in the world, the Brow immediately took the league by storm. Perhaps the skinny kid who was forced to jack long jumpers for a no-name school can cement his legacy by going down in NBA history as one of the most versatile big men to ever play the game. Thank you all for watching, and thank you to the stellar team at ClutchPoints who produced this. I'm Frank Smith, and you can follow me at FMS_Frank Smith, and you can follow ClutchPoints at ClutchPoints. For more mini documentaries, head to our ClutchPoints Facebook, YouTube, or IGTV. Until next time.